Jurassic World Rebirth. This is the newest entry in the Jurassic Park franchise. The last movie was Jurassic World Dominion, came out in 2022. Made a lot of money, but that movie was not that good. It was honestly a bit of a mess. You didn't see Jurassic World Dominion, did you?
No, I didn't see that one.
Did you see, any of the other Jurassic Park movies?
No, this is my first one, actually.
Seeing any of them?
When I was a kid, I watched Jurassic Park, not Jurassic World.
Oh, okay.
But it's a whole new franchise, right?
Yeah.
Or a whole... What is the word?
A reboot?
It's like a reworking. It used to be Jurassic Park and now it's Jurassic World.
Yeah, and I think the best thing, you said it perfectly, and you don't have to see any of the other movies to get this movie. That's kind of a soft reboot because the last one was such a mess. I kind of enjoyed parts of it, Dominion, but there was just so much going on. They had locusts, they had these killer bees, and a robot kid and all this shit, which honestly is kind of cool, but it was such a mess and people just want to see dinosaurs. They're not looking for this crazy stuff. But I think this movie is a nice retread to just a simple story. It's almost, in my opinion though, too simple, and I'm gonna get into that. I didn't really love this movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was a really good time at the movies. I think it's a roller coaster theme park ride, and it's probably one of the most fun movies since the Jurassic World reboot in 2015, when they decided to reboot Jurassic Park after they hadn't done that since Jurassic Park 3 in 2001, and before that it was The Lost World, which was directed by Steven Spielberg, and then Jurassic Park in 1993, which was Steven Spielberg's the big movie that was huge. And
do you have a preference? Do you like this better than that?
I mean, I thought this movie was just very safe, very tame. Mm-hmm. This movie follows a research team led by Zora Bennett. She's played by Scarlett Johansson. And she's hired by this character, Dr. Martin Krebs, who's played by Rupert Friend. I thought he was pretty good. He was remember the kind of businessman guy who always had cool costumes on?
Yeah.
At first. I was like, this is how you know it's an adventure movie. They have him with the outfit, the Panama hat, and he gets off the boat, and they play the Jurassic Park theme. It's very much a theme park ride that's a lot of fun. You get the musical cue. I also feel I don't really remember as much of the recent Jurassic World movies using that music. You know the theme? The dun 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 dun.
I feel that's a big part of this movie.
Yeah, they used it a bunch of parts, but there's also kind of a con there where I could see there were two scenes that were directly taken from Jurassic Park. So it's very much playing it safe and kind of just reusing the same stuff. The scene where Jonathan Bailey and Scarlett Johansson's character are looking at those two dinosaurs that are kind of gazing in the field, and they're both astonished, remember?
They're really long neck.
Yeah, that's basically the same exact scene from Jurassic Park in 1993 when...
I like it though because it's it's a big moment for Jonathan Bailey's character. It's oh, he's finally getting to see them in person.
And it is, and this movie has so many moments that are like that. That's a lot of fun, in my opinion, but I just feel they don't do that extra thing. It's basically just copying Jurassic Park. There's a little bit of it in... There's a scene where they're running through the kitchen at the end. That's basically a scene in Jurassic Park where it's a famous scene where these raptors...
Trying to do a nod to it?
It's almost... It's funny because, Orson Welles, he's a really famous director, said the worst thing a director could do is not an homage, because it's good to do an homage, but he kind of said that, and I feel this movie does that too much, where it's taking these really key scenes and basically just reusing them with new faces, because it's the thing with the rap where it's important that Jonathan Bailey sees those, those two dinosaurs. The guy even says to him, "You're just a guy who goes to zoos until you've seen the actual thing in person." But they just don't do a new enough thing. They need to do something they're just basically copying and pasting it. It was the same thing with How to Train Your Dragon that I hated, but at least this has, more fun stuff. This is more fun to watch than that. I like this a lot more, but...
I think because I didn't see the other ones, watching this, I didn't have the same reaction as you of the, oh, this seems, basic,
Yeah, and honestly, I enjoyed it in the moment, but I'm just there's something that's not... They already did this, and they're playing the same music, it's cool.
Yeah.
And it's the same with that scene where they're in... I think it's the gift shop, where the girl and the dad are hiding. I'm gonna basically also put a spoiler warning on this. I'm not gonna... we're gonna go into spoilers here, but basically the movie does have scenes where they're hiding in the gift shop, with the food, and I remember it's the same thing as with the raptors.
I would say the movie's pretty predictable. There was a lot of things that I predicted. There are some things I thought were gonna happen that didn't happen, certain characters dying, but I thought it was fun. really fun. Like the whole time I was kind of like at the edge of my seat. Like my heart rate was up the whole movie.
It's good like that. There's really a pro-con factor where it's a movie that moves very fast, but at the same time, it's really not great with its characters. Like, they decide to insert... Like, first you have the research team. These characters are very thin. Like, you're supposed to believe that, like, Scarlett Johansson, like, she's, like, a very thin character. And I really, like, love Scarlett Johansson. Honestly, going into this movie, you know, I was very excited. And I think she's great in this movie, just to clarify.
No,
she's really good, like, with what she's doing. But her character just doesn't have, like, enough, like, background for her to, like, work with.
I wish we found out more. I feel like they said stuff, like, about her past, but then we didn't find out exactly what happened, and I kind of wanted to know.
Exactly. Like, you basically know that she had either a partner or a friend or, like, a boyfriend, but you, like, don't know enough. And they just said, like, he died. Yeah. And that's all you really have to, like, go on her character. But for me, that just, like, makes it, like, they could just do more for her character.
And the fact that this was her first mission back since this trauma that she went through, I don't know that it showed very much, because she was kind of the only one with her head screwed on straight the whole time, where she was able to, like, kind of just do anything. And someone who, like, is their first mission back, who just went through trauma, you would think would be a little bit more hesitant, and I feel like her character just kind of, like, went for it, and it didn't really show that she was nervous about anything. So I don't know if you felt that way.
Honestly, that is something that I feel like I wasn't even, like, watching, like, thinking about that, but that just, like, pinpoints to exactly something that could be better written in the movie overall. And it goes the same with the other character, Mahershala Ali, because you were even pointing out, like, towards the end, like, when the it's very predictable, like, people are in danger, and his goal is then, like, he looks at, like, the little girl who's there, like, and he says, like, I'm not, like, gonna let anything happen to you. And you just hear a brief thing, like, about his son, but you're not given much. And I'm not, like, asking for full backstories. It's just, they give them, like, that one scene where Scarlett Johansson says, oh, I lost someone. And he goes, like, I lost someone.
Yeah, and you were confused, like, a little bit about, like,
his
who
son.
His son was, because it wasn't very well explained. I kind of saw that at the end of the movie he wanted to save the girl because he couldn't save his son, but we don't know exactly what happened.
Exactly. There's stuff like that, and with you pointing just, like, to how they could have shown her kind of overcoming her trauma more, like, just stuff like that really would add more, because it's really entertaining from a, like, set piece level. The way they kind of go through these set pieces is awesome. I mean, it's, like, very fast moving, but the characters are just so boring. So it's almost like you're watching these cool scenes, but it's not like there's really any, like, serious emotional investment. Like, watching it, I'm not, like, I mean, I saw you were literally at the edge of your seat, and I was, like, you know, excited, but I didn't feel as, like, you know, I could really care about them, because they're just not, like, deep at all.
Yeah, I'd agree, because I do think the characters were thin, like you said, especially because if we're saying spoilers, there's, like, the boyfriend and the girlfriend. If he's so in love with her that he's going to jump in after her and risk his life, I didn't see many scenes of them even talking. Like, I didn't see any chemistry between them. It was mostly him talking to her dad. And so I wasn't very invested in the characters, but the most fun part was just, like, who's gonna die next? And, like, how are they gonna die? And what dinosaur is gonna be around the corner? I will say that one scene with the, like, herbivore dinosaurs, the ones with the long necks, where you said that they were, like, excited to see it, Jonathan Bailey's character. The whole time I was waiting for one of them to get stepped on. I was like, why aren't they scared of getting stepped on? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they're very
huge dinosaurs.
Careful creatures.
Yeah.
But what you said about those characters brings me to, like, just the script, which is basically that family character that they add with the sailboat. It's so forced to me, and again, I'm really not, like, thinking it's so distracting from the story, but they're so thinly written. And like you said, it's this family who's boating, and their boat gets capsized because of a dinosaur, and then they just get, like, merged with the Scarlett Johansson part of the story, and Jonathan Bailey and the Rupert Friend character, and they're all together, but they're just so thin, and I hated this family for most of it. Like, I started to like them towards the end, but because, and, like, again, the actors are great doing what they're doing, but the story is so, like, forcing them to just kind of be together, and then they have to have this conflict where the daughter has to, like, they're doing this top secret mission, but they really kind of just force this conflict that's so obvious, where she's, like, trying to call for help, and then she quickly, like, gets shut down by Rupert Friend, and he's like, you can't call anyone, and then that just results in her being like, this guy tried to, like, push me, because he doesn't save her. but just in that way, it's just so forced. And I just really wish they kind of built up that guy as an antagonist, just like in some better way. It just feels really like hammy and obvious, and there's just a way more subtle route they go, because this family really just like hampers the story. As soon as they're on the boat, like, what mission is this? Why can't you drop us off? What's going on? Everything they're saying is just like kind of pushing the story along in a very obvious way.
Yeah.
And to me, that was just distracting. But all that aside, it's really fun to watch, but you just really have to like be able to say, I'm watching this movie and it's not that, like, the story isn't anything great, but it really could be great, because David Coep wrote it, and he wrote like Spider-Man, he wrote first Jurassic World or Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
But he's capable of doing like good stuff.
Yeah,
he just did Black Bag, but yeah.
I don't think the story itself is like the best ever. I mean, I like how they were trying to make statements, and yeah, you had said in the last one that they were trying to make all these political statements, but in this one they were as well trying to make it more about like healthcare, but I think it was like more subtle, it seems, in comparison. And also,
very true, yeah, it was more of a subtle, like that thing at the end. Well, yeah, we've gone spoilers, but I feel like that's a very safe and easy. Also, like, I didn't think it was too political, because it just seems like a very like heroic thing to do. Like, it's cliche. They aren't going to take the money, or Scarlett Johansson's character decides to not take the billions or however much she's offered from this
10 million.
company.
Or 10? Yeah, 10 million.
Yeah. She was going to get a lot of money from this company to like get the samples of the dinosaurs and sell them, but probably for like crazy prices to only rich people. But she says, we're going to give it to everyone. So to me, that's like a very safe ending. It's not like anything that's so... This whole movie is just very safe and fun. I did think a lot of people are going to enjoy it. I didn't think it was anything egregious or bad at all. It was just very safe and neutral. I would give it like a 6 out of 10. Really, you said you'd give it like an 8 out of 10 or like a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I give it 4 out of 5 stars, just because I thought it was fun. I wasn't really looking at it like critically in the way that you do. I was more just going based on the vibes. But also, you were talking about that you were glad that we didn't see it in 4D, right?
I mean, to be honest, I love seeing a 4D movie. I think this honestly could have been fine in 4D. Mm-hmm. It really could have, but...
I think it would have been fun.
I agree. I think, honestly, so many movies are. This just definitely would use it a lot, and there's a lot of jumping around. I think it would be great, but for me, this also just reminded me that it can be distracting. Like, I enjoyed this story in this movie, but I feel like there's things that would probably be given away, like when the dinosaurs are hiding. Also, I just have to talk quickly, like, visually, this is pretty good, and it's directed by Gareth Edwards, who did Godzilla. There's even a similar shot, I think I pointed out to you, when you first see the D-Rex, that mutant T-Rex, and the flare comes down. It's like the same scene from Godzilla. But it was really like a good-looking movie. I liked a lot of it. I just thought the story was kind of basic. It had really good set pieces. Like, I really liked all the cliff scenes and the jungle and the lab and the islands they go to and the boat scenes. There's really a lot of variety here, and it's very fun to look at visually and very fast-paced, but, the story's not that great. But it's a safe reboot. A lot of people will find fun to watch.
Just having the cast that it has, it'll do well.
I think it's a very good summer blockbuster, and I honestly do think you should go see it, because I think there's fun stuff. I just think these movies should put out great stories. Like 28 Years Later, for example, I really loved that movie and that story. That was much more of a movie that took risks. Understandably, Universal probably doesn't want to take risks with this movie. They want as many people to see it, and I do think people should see it, but there is a better version of this out there. Maybe they cut scenes, honestly, with her where she was overcoming it. They're like, this is already 2 hours, 13 minutes. Let's keep it that short.
She didn't want to leave her friend. She
That was so quick, though, but you're right. I feel like I'm honestly would be happy if they had like cut scenes, but it does suck that they're not in the full cut. But I can imagine there's stuff that they just want to keep this as short as possible. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I was there for the vibes, so.
I think it does succeed in that way. So it was honestly an entertaining movie, just nothing crazy. It was, for me, like a 6 out of 10. So go see Jurassic World. It opens on July 2nd. It'll be out there for July 4th weekend, and go check that out. I wonder how it's going to do, because it's going to be very crowded. There's F1 coming out, Megan 2, but I don't think that's going to be like drawing people on repeat weekends. I think it's mostly going to be like F1, Jurassic Park or Jurassic World, and then Superman on July 11th. So that's going to be very big and interesting to see. So we'll see if Jurassic World can like stretch that week. That it has like a week until Superman.
Yeah.
to
I think it will.
get a lot of views. So we'll see. So go check out Jurassic World. Thank you guys so much for listening, and check out the next video. Thank you.